How's it going, guys? I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This? How's it going, guys? We are moving on to the theme of the month, which I had picked. And the only reason I picked this is because I finally got a certain cable service that has free on-demand stuff. So I have just been binge watching a ton of sci-fi movies.
Right. This was bad sci-fi movie month.
Oh, okay. So like one of the things I when I was watching the Sci-Fi Channel movies, one of like the things that came to me is that it kind of reminded me of like old like 1960s, 1970s type of films, like monster films or
yeah.
Like, cause I mean, there's definitely just like a huge, like just like following for them, especially when they have like titles like Megalodon, Octo Shark, and so it kind of just reminds me of like the movies from back then where it was like The Fly, The Blob, The Stuff.
Absolutely, all the great ones.
Reanimator. See, there's like
the Thing from Another Planet.
What was it? Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks.
The very old school one, right? Oh, what's it called? The 100-foot woman. Is that
yes.
The giant woman or whatever?
Yep.
And so it just kind of like harkens to like those old type of like monster films, like drive-in films.
Right.
Where you're not gonna expect the highest caliber of acting.
What?
Listen, Ian Zeliger, is that his name? He is like the poster boy for sci-fi films now. He is a franchise monster on sci-fi.
Sharknado madness. Yeah.
Well, now he has the new one, Zombie Tidal Wave.
But I love it. It's like it's like asylum films, and they grab like all these like old actors that just haven't done anything in a while, and they're like, hey, you want to be in a movie again? And they're like, yes. And so it's all like all these movies have like great people that you recognize, and you're like, where the heck do I know them from?
Exactly. And today's movie is no different.
It is chock full of famous people.
So today's movie is ARACHNOQUAKE, and it is exactly what it sounds like.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure for a lot of people, it is like one of their worst nightmares.
Yes.
Combined, like two nightmares combined into one. So the premise of the story for this film is that there's an earthquake that disturbs like these underground spiders.
Right.
And then they come up to the surface and wreak havoc. They're huge. They're almost like...
Well, they are from tarantula size to...
horse size.
Like small house size. You know?
And then one that's almost like Godzilla-like.
Right. Right.
But this movie is chock filled with like a lot of like old famous people.
Right.
From like two eras, I think. You have from the 1980s, you have the girl from the one show
Growing Pains.
Carol, was her name Carol?
Yep.
Yeah, she's the middle sister.
Yep.
She's playing the mom. We have
I actually had to look that up because like halfway through the movie I'm like,
I know her.
I can't pay attention to the movie because I'm trying to figure out where I know her from.
Well, she was like the annoying sister. That's
Right.
She was not as cool as Mike, even though that guy is a total douche now. Kirk Cameron.
He has found the Lord. We'll just say that.
In the worst way. We also have Edward Furlong, who is, if you guys don't remember, is the kid from Terminator 2.
Right, and even though we haven't really done Terminator as one of our movies, we talk about it enough, so I feel like he's a reoccurring guest.
And I guess the last one I can really remember is Bug Hall, who's, I think his biggest claim to fame was probably Little Rascals from the 90s.
But we did do The Stupids, and he was the son in The Stupids. So
but that
again,
was like...
reoccurring guest.
Well, like the Stupid was like I think like what 2-3 years after Little Rascals.
Yeah.
But then,
But he was still pretty young.
Yeah, but a lot of people still remember him as Alfalfa.
Oh, right.
The little pervy kid that would get a hair boner. That's what it meant, right? That's what that meant. That little.
Unfortunately, that's what it's gonna mean from now on.
And then we get just pretty much a lot of like maybe like young actors, young actresses trying to get into the business. But of course,
but you got Pops. Pops was Neelix on
From,
the Voyager.
Oh, see, I can't.
He was the one alien, so like he always had makeup on,
yes.
so he didn't look
No,
exactly like this.
I kept thinking he was the guy from a Princess Bride.
Oh no!
And it was like that's not him.
It's not him. Yes,
but they look like they could be related. Yes. I mean, I think it's just any middle-aged white man that has that weird balding thing where it's like bald at the top, hair on the sides.
The horseshoe.
The horseshoe. Or the cul-de-sac.
Right, yep.
They all look like that guy from Princess Bride. Alright, well, we should probably get into the movie.
Okay.
So in the beginning of the film, there's a whole bunch of we get a shot of like this chicken farm. One of the guys there, one of the farm workers is like complaining about the earthquake last night and how he felt like something bit him in the neck.
Right.
And now his neck is like totally messed up.
All pussy and stuff.
Yeah, but he didn't go to the hospital, and I could believe that because I watched the Dr. Pimple Popper show. And so I could believe people putting stuff off like that.
Don't pop it yet, it's not pussy enough.
It won't make a sound yet. But yeah, we start at the farm. He has to go tend to some problem. And then this is where we get the first occurrence of a spider popping out of his neck.
Yes.
Gross. And you know what? That thing looked bad enough where if it had popped, I feel like he should have passed out. It was gross. And it wasn't like in the hands of the gentle Sandra, Dr. Sandra, Mrs. Dr. Pimple Popper. It just burst open.
And at this point, spiders, small tarantulas.
Very small tarantulas. They're almost albino-like in color.
Yeah.
Because they're underground.
Right.
But before that, he sees a huge crack in the ground, which I felt like, for the city of New Orleans, this should have been a bigger problem. When there's, like, crevices huge enough for people to just die in.
Right, yeah, just to fall.
But he ends up falling into it because the spider shoots something into his face.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the actual people of the story. We see Bug Hall leaving the apartment or the New Orleans brownstone apartment of some girl. And you know, it's been a while since I've seen Bug Hall, but he kind of looks like the first John Krasinski. Like he's not like traditional, like good looking, but he's good looking, but like he's like
right
that hometown hero good looking.
Yeah.
But he kind of looks like he reminds me a lot of John Krasinski.
But he went from like that very cute but awkward kid, and he grew well.
Yeah, well, I think what's a good thing that he did was he stopped his career, so you didn't have to see him go through the awkward stages of growing up.
Right.
That way he was cute and like adorable when he was like in the 90s, and now he's just like a full grown man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is leaving the apartment after spending a night with, I presume, is just she looked Asian. And he's trying to justify himself. He's like, whoa, oh, I didn't want to wake you up. But then she throws his boxers in his face. Well, like I don't know how you put your pants on before the. Was it just like a memento, like remember me, girl?
Right. He'd leave commando. It's okay. He's going to work.
Yeah. But then she's like, ooh, call me. And he's like, hell yeah. and then we get a shot of him walking through the streets of New Orleans in this really weird sepia tone filter.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Well, I think they were just like, hey, we have like $1,000 left over, so let's make it a cool, cool entrance to the film.
I very much approve. I liked it.
But yeah, he ends up going to a work where his work is actually working with his dad and his sister. Dad's super upset because he's 2 hours late. He's hungover, and now he missed the first tour group that he was supposed to vote around.
Yeah.
And so his dad busts him down to tour bus duty.
Right. Because he not only did he miss the tour, but he took the boat the night before and left it
somewhere
along
the riverbank.
Undamaged, but
it's not where it's supposed to be. And then so yeah, then we cut away to David Furlong, a little Terminator kid.
And there's one of those ones where not an unattractive kid did not age well.
He really didn't. He looks like just so worn out. He's a little chubbier now. Like
it's totally still him, but it's like from like Jackass when they were like when Johnny Knoxville's like, make me an old suit so I look like a real old man, but still make it look like me. That's kind of how I felt like this is. Like, it was like, oh, hey, take the kid from Terminator. Just add like 50 pounds to him and give him a waddle on his neck.
Well, yeah, and it's like, well, okay, because the thing is, like, when he was in Terminator 2, he kind of looked like how Leonardo DiCaprio looked like in Growing Pains. You know, he had this very, like, he had that weird split hair where it's like, you know, that very 90s hair, and he looked like a goth prince from back in the day, you know? But now he just looks like the kind of guy you meet at a truck stop you don't want to be at.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's apparently married to Carol from Growing Pains.
Right.
He's driving a bus, and apparently he's the coach of a cheerleading squad.
But it's like a cheerleading baseball team.
Is that what it was? Is that what it was?
They're all dressed the same.
Yeah.
But half of them are baseball players and half of them are cheerleaders.
But I was just like, that's kind of weird. But he can't. He's supposed to go on a tour with his wife and his 2 kids, but his assistant, he goes up to his assistant's room.
Because he thinks she's just sleeping in.
Yeah, they're sleeping in way too long, and she's supposed to drive these girls back to Houston.
Yeah.
Where they're from. But when he uncovers it, she's just pus everywhere, foaming out of the mouth.
She has gotten attacked, but not dead, but just bitten up a lot by spiders.
But they also do not call an ambulance.
Well, they say that, though.
Okay.
He said, I gotta take the girls back, so just call an ambulance. They'll take care of it. You don't have to worry. He says that to his family. Don't worry about the pussy woman upstairs.
Shouldn't he tell, like, the hotel staff, like...
Right, and I think they probably should have called an ambulance while he was still in the room with them.
Yeah.
Because she was not looking good.
And you don't want to be implicated for leaving the scene. Like, oh my God, did you do this? You left the scene, man.
Right.
But, so Carol from Growing Pains is obviously pissed because they were supposed to be on a vacation after that whole competition trip that they were on.
Right.
But he ends up ditching them, so they end up going on the tour by themselves while he drives the girls back to Houston. And so we get to the tour bus. Bug Hall is just sleeping his night off in the bus until Gramps comes in.
Yep.
Opens it, and then he starts to pack the whole tour bus in with Gramps, this black couple, and then Carol and her kids.
Right.
Into the bus. And then so he's going through the whole routine of going through the bus tour. But then he suddenly stops. Oh no, he suddenly stops because Carol's like, "Oh my God, stop!" Because there's just
moments after he says, "No, we're not stopping for you to shop because this tour bus never stops." Oh wait, hole in the ground. Stop.
Okay, in the middle of New Orleans, that there's just a hole in the ground.
Right.
A crack in the middle of a intersection. And there's just no cops.
Right. Or other people. Like, That was my one quirk on this movie was like there is so no people in New Orleans. Maybe like it was the earthquake happened and the radio came on and was like, okay, everybody, you should get out of New Orleans because there was an earthquake. And Bug just slept through it. And
no, but what about the rest of the town? Because there's the convenience store guy. He was still home. Like...
Well, yeah, the people who work the night shift, they didn't hear that radio broke. I don't know.
I think this
Bubble burster.
This happens in a lot of like sci-fi films, especially when it's like one of those citywide disaster ones. Because it happened in Sharknado. Or even though there is a Sharknado going around, there's still people in the freeways just driving to work or going home. So they can't control.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, so they end up back. Bug Hall ends up getting out of the bus because he wants to see what's going on. I don't think you have to, because if there's a big crevice, you just find a way around.
Right, but I mean, obviously, like, he's driven this route before, and now there's a big crevice, and he's just kind of like, what the heck?
But then what's it called? Annabelle, Carol's daughter, in the bus, she sees a spider crawl out of the crevice, and she decides to scoop it up in her peas cup.
Yes.
And and they're all like, "Oh my god! Oh look, it's blind! Oh, it must be an underground spider. It never needed eyes or anything like that."
Right, and they get a little actual science from because Carol. Would just call her that because I can't remember her name in here. So Carol is a 8th grade biology teacher, so she knows some science. So we get a little bit of like actual fact about, or at least theory about this new breed of spider.
Well, later on, she does say she has a master's degree in zoology.
Right,
but if that's what it is, zoology. And we actually know somebody with a degree in zoology. And he makes a lot of money.
Yes, he does.
And she's just an 8th grade underappreciated teacher. No, but another spider comes out of the crevice, and it's actually a lot bigger.
Yes.
And then it starts to show hostility towards the tour group. And so they all, it's because it was on Bug Hall's shoulder.
Yep.
And so he swats it away. Everybody runs back into the bus. And now that we have three almost dog-sized tarantulas.
Yeah, at least corgi size.
On the bus. He's like, "Oh my god, we got to get back in the bus." And then he drives away. And then he sort of swerves them off the bus.
Yeah.
Which, no. I've had bugs on my windshield, and they just hang on at 60 miles per hour.
But they weren't blind.
It's true. Well, no, that doesn't matter. That doesn't affect their adhesiveness to things.
Whatever. You don't know the science. You're not a zoologist. You don't know that. Blind bugs have weaker hands.
But yeah, so after that, they make their way to I think a gas station.
Yeah, it's like
sort of.
Oh yes, because he's gonna refill.
Yeah, he needs a refill for the gas.
But there's a little convenience store.
It almost looks like a Walmart, like a Walgreens type of store.
Yeah, not that size.
But I also feel like they sell bait there too.
I'm sure they do. And then everybody goes running in because the black couple is definitely looking for some bug spray. They want some bug spray to keep them off, and they want some bug spray to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what's it called? Apparently, Carol actually needs her inhaler at this moment, so she's trying to look for a substitute. Gramps goes in there and he just downs a whole bottle of wine.
Right.
I think
there's spiders outside. I'm just gonna drink this bottle of wine.
Well, I totally just think it's because he's like, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this one, But after they fill up the whole gas tank, Carol and Bug Hall, they run into the store because there's a whole bunch of bugs all over the place now, and so they're like, everyone's sort of gearing up, trying to get like bug spray. And Gramps is in the corner at the alcohol aisle, down in a whole bottle.
Right. And the one guy who works there.
Oh, yes. He was bitten. He was previously bitten before he comes to his shift, so a giant spider bursts out of another...
That one is to me, that's the gross one. Because It was a well done, not computer. It was a practical effect, like balloon growing on the back of his neck, and then it pops.
Oh my god! That guy definitely fainted after that one.
Yeah.
Oh man! But what's it called? And so after they sort of make some makeshift weapons, like they're using like a bug spray and a lighter to burn all the spiders down. They run back into the bus, but then Craps, unfortunately, is very inebriated and does not make it.
Yeah. And the spider eats his eye.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because previously he did say that he saw a spider suck an eyeball out of somebody, but then he was like, "Oh, but they're dead."
Yep.
Oh, see? Oh man, such good writing. Things coming full circle. But after that, Bughall and the black guy who's in there with them, I forgot his character's name. They start to sort of argue about how to get to safety.
Right.
And so they're fighting over, like, after Bughall runs into a blockade of, like, cops shooting at the ARACHNOQUAKE spiders, they end up going to his dad's place, the marina.
Right, because Dad and sister have gone and retrieved the boat that was missing.
Yes.
And then on their way back, they see the fires in the city, and so he's like, I bet this is Bug's fault. I'm gonna go whoop his ass.
Which is like, yes, I forgot that. There is this very unfair hatred towards his son.
Yeah.
That like, how, like, and then like, so yeah, he does go retrieve Bughall. When they do a U-turn in the tour bus, he's driving in his red Mustang.
Yep, yeah.
He does like a little half donut, and then he opens the window. He's like, "There's a lot of spiders around here. It better not be your fault." Like, because yes, your son is totally capable of making these gigantic spiders. But then Bug can't hear him. He's like, "Hey, be careful! There's a whole bunch of spiders." Oh man! So they drive all the way back to the marina, and while this is happening, the bus that Edward Furlong, aka Terminator Kid,
Yes.
drives, actually crashes because he sees like a
really big spider jumps in the street kind of out in front of him, and he swerves to
to move away, which I think if it was me, I was like, I'd have just driven over it.
right.
Gross.
But I guess you don't expect a spider, so
That big.
maybe you're thinking it's
Like dog.
just a dog or a deer
deer
or something.
Oh, a deer will fuck up your car.
Right.
But yeah, he does swerve, and then all the girls, like, they get into a crash. And so while this is happening, Edward Furlong, he's trying to shoo away the spiders, because as they're trying to pull the car out of the ditch, a spider, like a big ass spider, comes towards them, right? And so they end up getting trapped in the bus.
But there's the great scene where you actually find out that they're a baseball team.
Oh yeah. I forgot, yes, because there are baseballs in the bus.
So there's a part where like the spider jumps at him,
Yeah.
and he ducks, and the girl has a bat, and she, boom, hits the spider, and in like classic cartoon style, you actually hear the woo as the spider's flying, and then it hits the ground and explodes into a fireball. And that's when you first find out that they are flame-breathing spiders.
They do explain how they are flame-breathing spiders later on.
Right.
But yes, and so they make it to Bughall and the tour group make it to the dock where his father's business is. And this is where the black guy ends up trying to make this Samuel L. Jackson-esque Deep Blue Sea speech.
Yes.
Where he's like, I'm from the hood, I've seen things that you've never seen, and we're gonna make it out of this, because if we
Spiderweb out of the bushes, hits him in the back, drags him to his death.
Which comes the question, if they had that ability the whole time, I feel like this movie could have gone like a whole different route.
Right.
But they also never showed the spider doing it. it was just a web coming out of nowhere and then just like reeling them in.
That's true. Yeah.
Sniper spiders. Yeah, and so yeah.
Yeah, it may have been a different type of, not a different type, but like a different spider that you didn't really see.
A specialty spider?
Right, because it didn't seem like all the spiders breathed fire. So maybe you had the fire-breathing ones, you had the egg-laying ones, you had the slingshot sniper ones.
Yeah, and you also have the tunnel ones.
The tunnel ones.
They got to make those tunnels somehow.
Right.
But yeah, he dies in a very Samuel L. Jackson Deep Blue Sea way. Which I was wondering, I was like, no, that movie, that whole scene was like 10 years old before this film. Because I think Deep Blue Sea came out in 2002.
Right.
And this movie came out in 2012. And I was like, man, there's really no other black guy speech like moments you guys could have copied. You know what? Maybe I bet you they were trying to bank on the fact that maybe people didn't remember Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Right, because it definitely wasn't like a Denzel Washington kind of speech. Mm-mm. It was a Samuel L. Jackson kind of speech. maybe a little Snakes on the Plane.
Oh, right, maybe. But he didn't deliver it with the same conviction.
No.
You know, so if
he's not going to end up being in the next Samuel L. Jackson. Sorry.
And so they end up getting onto the boat because they feel like, oh, maybe we'll be safer in the water, right? And so as that's happening, they run into another boat where there was a whole bunch of guys that were trying to get at Bug Hall's sister, who does not look like they are related at all.
Right, because she's hot stuff.
A beautiful blonde.
Yeah.
And
she certainly doesn't look like her dad either.
She's adopted. Cool. She was an orphan that they took in that washed up. Yeah. And so we see the same boat that was full of like frat looking type of guys, just infested with a whole bunch of spiders. And at this time, this is where the black girl from the couple starts to freak out. And she gets to the top and then is, for some reason, vying for control of this boat. Because, why?
I feel like because her boyfriend, husband, guy, he was fighting for control of the trolley.
Yeah.
And so I think she was like, well, he's gone, so I have to take his place. So I'm going to fight for control of the boat. That's the only thing I can come up with. Because, yeah, it was... She's
it was odd. It was an odd
very
decision.
whiny, and so it didn't seem like the thing she would do.
Yeah. But after that whole struggle, because at this time, Bug Hall's sister Petra, she falls over the moment the black girl accelerates the boat, and so Bug Hall is trying to hold on to her sister, while now we learn that there are spider walking bugs. Also, water walking spiders.
Yes,
nailed it.
And some spiders do that. I used to get like these big wolf spiders.
Oh yeah.
And they made a nest in the skimmer hole of my pool. And like when you would first jump in the pool and like water would splash in there, there's a ton of them. There was like 2 of them, but they would come running out and they would along the top of the water on the pool to the other side of the pool, up on the edge and then into the bushes.
Oh my god!
Until
humans are here,
right? Until all the people were gone, and then they would come back in. They'd go back over and fix up their nest.
Which is crazy because yes, there's spiders light enough to not break the water tension,
but not ones that are the size of a Volkswagen Bug.
Unless, another interesting fact about spiders is in their legs there are no muscles. It is actually moved by blood pressure. And if I'm wrong, I just read it in an article. So I don't want it to sound smart. But yeah, so when they go crashing, the black girl, she ends up flying a good 100 feet from the boat, which I think from that she should have died.
Right.
Like, there's no way she didn't hit.
It was a fun, well-deserved, like, toss out of the boat, though. So. And then not into the water, like onto the shore.
Onto the shore, where there's like a whole bunch of woods. It would have been a perfect sci-fi film if after that, when she was flying out, the alligator that saved the father and daughter earlier came out and just... Oh no, that was later. But if the same alligator came out and just ate her. Right. Ate her whole.
Yeah.
But she ends up being met by an arachno spider.
Yes.
ARACHNOQUAKE spider, and ends up dying anyway.
Right.
And so they make it...
but I like how nobody else getting out of the boat has any concern. They're like, oh, she flew off the boat and she's in the bushes over there screaming. Here, help your sister off the boat. Hold my gun.
Well, okay, so I think if it was me and I saw a girl fly 100 feet away from a boat, I was like, oh, she's probably dead. And then by the time you hear her scream, it's like, oh, it's already too late.
That's plausible.
And so
fair enough.
They do go running into the woods, and this is where they run into another character that they've stolen from something else. It's the actual guys from the beginning of the film where the first ARACHNOQUAKE egg popped from the guy's neck.
Right.
It's these two guys. And then this very Cajun speaking person, right, who is just a total ripoff off the guy from Anaconda, starring J-Lo and Ice Cube.
Yes, yes, it is.
Because he was like, "Ain't nobody come around my small man."
I kept thinking about that too. I kept thinking about that, and I was thinking, I know this actor, but you're right. I know the part he was playing, and that's exactly what he was.
Oh, man. So after that all happens, we do cut away to Edward Furlong and the bus load of girls. Again, and now the bus is being spider-webbed.
Right. Completely wrapped up.
But before it could get fully wrapped up, the military comes, finally. I don't know if it's the U.S. military, if it's the Coast Guard or National Guard. I don't know. But they start shooting it up, and apparently it's actually the father of one of the girls in the baseball team.
Yeah.
Now, as they're coming out of the bus, we get one of the best lines in the film. As Edward Furlong beats a spider that's already dead, and he turns around and goes, "Now that's how you make jambalaya." I will... That is...
You're right.
That's
the best line in the movie.
Because as he's doing it, one of his players and her father are just looking at him because it's like, it's already dead. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I get it. You know, maybe it's like a frustration beating. Like, I can't believe you had me so scared. Now I'm going to let you know how I make jambalaya. And then so Edward Furlong, he argues with the father saying, I have to get back to New Orleans because my family is there. His daughter says, please, Dad, he's the only reason we're still alive.
Right.
I feel like you're the only reason he's still alive because she's the one who knocked that spider out of the park.
She certainly did.
But yeah, so they end up going on the way back to Louisiana, and then we cut back to a Bug Hall and the tour group. They're back at Anaconda's home base of operations.
Right. The shed in the woods.
With the shed in the woods.
That's probably making moonshine, but who knows?
They are, because he says one of the guys, I'm gonna call him Box of Rocks, because that's what the other guy kept calling him. He's like, oh,
you're right. He does say that. Doesn't
he's like, where the shine at? Oh man. But then, so after that, Carol from Growing Pains does say, hey, we need to, I need to study it. If I can find one that's like at least intact, right, I can study it and find out what I can do about it. And so they set up this very Vietnam trap where they had what's it called, a Walkman, because it's attracted to sound,
right?
And they're dragging it through the forest, and then the thing falls into a pit trap where there's like sticks sticking out,
and bamboo spikes.
It's a definite Vietnam trap. But then they take it back to the shed and they start to study it. Carol's like, oh, here, hold this. One of the kids is like, shouldn't you wear some gloves? And Anaconda's like, "Do what your mama told you, boy." and this is probably like the most expensive shot of the whole film because they used practical. It was like a whole practical effect. But it's like missing a lot of legs.
Right.
It didn't look like a full spider. It's like I think they just bypassed the legs. So it's like whatever. But yeah, so she's like finding out about it. She's like, oh, it doesn't really have a brain. It just has like a very simple nervous system.
Right, the ganglial fibers and
yeah, which I totally think is BS. I don't know what they're talking about. But then they also find like this sac that actually releases gas.
Right.
Which is probably the sac that helps fuel the fire breathing.
Right, and then you also kind of get like a little bit more story because you're also getting from Cajun Man that there's a lot of these cracks and crevices and underground caverns that they're fracking for fuel, and that they've probably fracked enough that they've hollowed out the ground, irritating the spiders, and then when that little earthquake made things collapse, that's when the spiders all came out. But also because they're living in these cracks and crevices with the fuel, that they have these little gas.
They learn to adapt
sacks.
To it. Yeah.
And that is the part that helps them blow flames.
Well, I think that's what the fuel is, and then maybe there's like the teeth initiates the spark, maybe.
Oh, yeah, they didn't explain.
They didn't go to like a lot of detail.
Right.
It's too much science.
Right. And they can blow flames, but they still, when you use a lighter and a can of spray paint, you can burn them to death quite easily.
Well, I think you could do that to a dragon too, right? Because they could blow it.
Well,
but are they heat resistant?
If you go all the way back to like the early, like to Dragon Slayer, he actually went and collected dragon scales and made a shield out of it because dragon scales were fireproof, and that way he could fight the dragon when he blew flames.
Dragons, or was it called
Dragon Slayer?
Oh.
That was like one
of the first RPGs, right?
Kind of like 1978 kind of dragon movie. I remember watching that.
The movie. I think. What was the game? The one they were playing on Stranger Things. It had like a really sexy princess that you had to save.
Yes.
It's totally a sidetrack.
Yeah.
After they do the autopsy, spiders start to attack the compound, and this is where we get everybody. That's where everyone gets split up.
Right.
Because it's just too much chaos. Box of Rocks dies from being flame thrown.
Oh, he did have one other good line, Box of Rocks, when they were dissecting. Oh. And he's in there peeking in. He's all like, "Don't you watch those cooking shows from the other countries? I bet if you took those spider legs with a little bit of butter."
Which you gotta give it to him. You know, he's trying to. He's not wasteful.
Right.
But I also would just be like, man, no. Like, but yeah, and then his other friend dies from actually running away from a spider, and he actually falls into the Vietnam trap.
Yep.
Which is a shame, but I was like, oh, you know what? You should probably be careful where you're running to, man. and he just dies right there. Carol gets spider sniped.
Yep.
Annabelle goes to run for her. The brother gets stopped by Anaconda Man.
Yep. He's like, nope. She got spider sniped. No reason to follow her.
What you gonna do, boy?
She's already dead.
But with
a Cajun accent.
Yeah. We're like, what you gonna do, man? You can't do nothing about it. I totally don't know if that's the Cajun accent. I feel like I'm doing Boomhauer from King of the Hill. Oh, damn, man. That was one of
I feel like those things are similar. Any Cajuns listening, I apologize if I am wrong.
What's it called? Bug Hall's dad, who survived the flame attack earlier in the film.
Right.
This is where he gets his brain sucked out, I think. I don't know what happens.
That's a weird scene that doesn't really go with the rest.
Yeah. Well, so he gets like sort of aliened in the face.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, almost, but then, like, it wasn't there for that long, but maybe it was enough to inject poison.
But it wasn't like it got bit. It was like
Like a suction cup, right?
two other little arms kind of like came out and like poked him in the forehead.
Yeah. And so that happened. So as Bug Hall is trying to drag his dad back to Petra because he left, I don't know why they couldn't go together, but he left Petra in the middle of the woods with the shotgun, and he ran into the woods without the shotgun.
Right.
She unfortunately gets spider sniped as well.
Yeah.
And that's where the father dies.
Yeah. He's like, you let your sister get sniped. So, no, Dad doesn't know. And it's actually kind of a little bit touching scene where he's like, I was so hard on you because I wanted you to be like me. And I realized that that's put in a square peg in a round hole. And,
there's a lot of Southern analogies and metaphors.
You're a great person on being the person that you are you.
Yeah. Well, because apparently, I'm pretty sure he's been hard on him his whole life.
Right.
Because, he blamed him for spiders being around and for the city being burning.
So apparently, Bug Hall's screwed up a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, to that level.
In big ways.
But yeah, so as he's dying, Anaconda and the brother, they meet up with him. And then he tells, Bug Hall tells Anaconda, like, oh, take him to the safe zone. I'm going to go get my sister back.
Yep.
And so he goes back to the boat, finds Annabelle running back into the forest, going into a hole. He finds his sister. He easily takes down the spider web. And then she just wakes up automatically.
Right. Yeah.
But then he also finds
without the suppression web on her anymore. She snaps out of it.
Oh, maybe the web. Because he touched it also. I was gonna say maybe the web itself had some sort of sleeping agent, but then it was all over him when he took his sister out.
That's true,
right?
Yeah.
We will never know the science behind these webs, sir.
Don't ask so many questions.
It is only sci-fi. But then he hears Carol and Annabelle looking into this hole and actually finding that there's it's sort of like almost a hive mind spider,
right?
Type of deal. Usually spiders, they just make the egg and then the spiders go all over the place and then don't really
very independent.
Yeah, very independent type of things. But this one, because all these other spiders don't have a brain. This hive spider is actually the brain for all of them.
Right. And as them looking at it in the cave, it looks like the size of
a Godzilla,
a large dog. And then it turns out to be the Godzilla spider. So apparently they are looking at it from very far away.
Well, no, but then it gets really close to the hole.
Right.
Yeah, it scares them through the hole, but it's just a very small part of it. Because as they escape the cavern, they get back into the boat. This thing is at least as tall as a tree.
Right.
Because
all the trees are like shaking and moving.
Well, he is just knocking it down.
Right. Like the Kong Island or whatever.
Kong Island. But he is not heavy. He's light enough to walk on water.
Right. Right, because that's the science. It doesn't matter how heavy you get. If a small spider can walk on water, then obviously a large one can as well. They wouldn't have put it in the movie if it wasn't true.
Oh, okay. But so Bug Hall and them are trying to make their way into the city. Edward Furlong, Terminator Kid, and that girl's father make it into the city, and Cajun and the brother make it into the city. They all meet up. What's it called? Edward Furlong sees his son, and in one of the best moments of the film, he's like super concerned for him, but also super disgusted by him. Because he asks his son, "Where's your mother? Where's your sister?" And he is breaking down because he's like, "I couldn't save them. They got caught. I'm so sorry." And in the moment that, as fast as he embraced them, he tossed them aside.
It's totally a "I love you, but I don't want to look at you" kind of moment.
But I feel like it's like in one of those tragic, like one of these like citywide tragedies, you just have to be happy with the family you have
Right.
left over.
Some of my family survived.
Exactly.
Not you, jerk.
Oh man, but yeah. So and then they see the giant spider being chasing Bug Hall.
Right, and it is
company.
significantly larger than the boat.
Yeah.
To give you a size comparison.
It is like, I would say, like if you put 2 boats side by side and then 4 boats on top.
Yeah.
It is freaking huge. But then, what's it called? The spider, it totally gets distracted by all the military people and all this stuff because they're like following it with a helicopter. At this point, Carol has stopped breathing.
Right.
Because of her asthma.
It's gotten so bad, and the anxiety and everything, and so she just...
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, could you...
Oh. Choked up, Carol.
Oh, God.
My girl. But yeah, so their daughter is in a panic mode trying to save mom, and unfortunately can't. Bug Hall and his sister are rummaging through the boat trying to find what they can to stop the spider, just totally ignoring the fact that mom is dying. But they come up with the idea that they see the military shooting the spider and it is impenetrable. So he decides that if he can't hurt it from the outside, he has to hurt it from the inside. And he's before Carol died, she came up with a theory that the queen bean spider, that if that one dies, all the rest of the spiders will no longer function.
Yeah, and so at this point, Bug Hall, he suits up in this scuba gear. He looks like Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve, totally.
If you guys don't get that reference, damn.
We'll have to add that movie to a future podcast.
Oh my God, are you saying we're going to have an Adam Sandler month?
I could be down with that.
But yeah, so yes, Bug Hall in this really weird Terminator sounding theme song gets off the boat and he's running towards the spider as the spider is trying to make a nest in between these 2 buildings.
Right. And at this point he's getting off the boat and the spider is at least a mile away. He runs 50 feet. He pulls out his shotgun and fires a shot at the spider on a building so far away that there's no way shot from a shotgun makes it there. But then he starts running.
You don't have to think about the science. But yeah, he does start running into it. The military is trying to shoot guns at it, but it's just not going through. And all of a sudden, in a minute, Bug Hall is in front of the spider.
Well, he's a fast runner.
But yeah, the spider ends up taking him up, right, with the web.
Yes, snipes him.
Right.
Oh, right. Because at this point, the spider, there's two buildings, and the spider's kind of made a crisscrossy web between the 2.
Mm-hmm. And so it's about to it sort of is gonna eat him already, right? It's not even gonna it's not gonna web him up.
Right.
It's just gonna eat him whole.
Yes.
Like some Tostino's pizza rolls.
Right, because obviously like that scuba suit's like he's like pre-webbed, so he's like an appetizer.
Oh yeah, but at this point, I forgot, how does he kill him? I had to use the restroom.
So it's actually kind of an interesting scene because then you get the view from inside of his mask.
Yeah.
As he's swimming through the inside of the spider, trying to find the organs that Carol had showed him when they were dissecting.
Okay, yeah.
And so he finds the gas sack, and he has... I am not sure how the explosive device that he used is created. Obviously, it works. So it must have been well made.
Because on Bug Hall's off time, he just learned how to make bombs.
But somehow he has a bomb that works inside the gelatinous fluid of a spider. And then he falls out of the spider.
Yes.
Like the spider kind of like barfs him up.
Yeah. Well, I think because maybe it just knew it was trying to do something it shouldn't have been
right.
doing.
Yeah, there's something inside of it like wiggling around. So, yeah.
Yeah, he does barf him up.
And there's this long fuse from the explosive device. And he just basically just dangles on this long fuse. 100 yards up from the ground, but 20 yards below this giant spider. And then he decides, this is the appropriate time to light this fuse.
And then he falls so far.
Right.
That he should have at least broken his legs. But he doesn't. You know, it's a sci-fi film. It has to be... There's already been enough death, guys.
Right. Who's going to be in
ARACHNOQUAKE 2? I don't know. It's been 7 years, so I don't know if they're going to make a sequel. But yeah, and so as the spider does blow up, I forgot, does Carol die?
She dies.
Oh, she dies, man. They wouldn't even save the mother. But it just ends like right there, right? As soon as the spider just blows up.
So then the sister's like, oh no! Bug is dead! And she runs over to the building and she starts crying. And then there's apparently blocked by the spider, so we didn't ever see it. There's a walkway between the two buildings. And he had fallen onto that. So he stands up and he's all like, hey, hi guys.
Isn't he dancing?
And he's dancing.
He's dancing. But the movie just ends right after that.
And then
right?
abruptly
ends. as fast as it came, it left.
Yeah. You do also get the notification from the military that all the spiders everywhere are all dying.
Yes.
They can't live. They cannot survive without mom.
But yeah, and so the movie just ends right after that.
Yeah.
And thus ends one of sci-fi's greatest films, ARACHNOQUAKE.
It was surprisingly entertaining.
Well, I get it. One of the only qualms I had about this whole film was just and sci-fi does it a lot. It's like a really shitty CG, and obviously it was gonna be way too much to have like mechanical spiders walking around.
You know, in this one, the spiders were surprisingly well done. Like when you get to like.
Sharktopus?
Yeah, right. And it's definitely a very fake shark walking in front of a very green screen, you know. But the spiders were really well done. The only like two things in it that were like very poorly done was the two times that they showed helicopters. I was like,
oh yeah,
if you would have cut those helicopters out, because that was.
Why did it? I don't know why they had to do it.
And both times were completely unnecessary. Like, the helicopters had no point.
It looked so... And that one... Okay, the helicopter looked worse than the spiders.
Way worse.
Because I feel like they're like, oh, you know what? The helicopter is only going to be in this scene for like 2 seconds. It's fine.
Right.
Don't render it. Don't...
Right. Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah. So, Colby, what was your first impressions of the film when I first announced it?
I actually had never seen this before.
What?
And,
you are an avid sci-fi
And I am an avid sci-fi. I've seen a ton of spider movies. I really like spider movies. And... Yeah, I had not seen this one, and I watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, yeah, nope, this is definitely the movie of the week, yeah.
So for me, what's it called? When I first saw it, when I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, that looks dumb. But I will watch it for Bug Hall just because I grew up with the little rascals and stuff, and I always felt like like how come he never really did more movies after?
Right.
But maybe he just wanted to do like live a normal life, do school stuff, be a normal adult. And
he's like, hey, I got a student loan to pay. Let's do a sci-fi movie or something.
It's a good way to pay half. I don't know how much you got paid, but I think it's only half of that student loan. So Kobe, what were your favorite parts of the film?
Definitely like the girl hitting the spider like a baseball. That was, but it was a really well-paced movie.
It was.
There was no boring parts. There was no parts that were too over the top. I mean, like, the whole movie was over the top, but, like, sometimes you get that point where it's like, oh my goodness, the person's gonna get attacked by 7,000 spiders at once.
That's even more terrifying.
It was well paced. The acting really wasn't too bad. There was lots of quirky, fun one-liners, but not like it wasn't every single line. There was actually real dialogue and stuff as well. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what my favorite. The most disgusting part to me was the
grocery store
clerk balloon neck pop. That was it made me gag a little tiny bit. But yeah, no, I lots of fun parts in it.
Yeah. Definitely my favorite one line is Edward Furlong's. Now that's how you make jambalaya. Actually, my favorite part of this whole film was actually Bug Hall's performance. Because like a lot of these sci-fi films, especially if you're like an actor just trying to get back into it, like if you're previously famous and then you're just trying to get back into acting or something like that. Sometimes, a lot of times, actually, they half-ass like the acting.
Like call it in, yeah.
But this one, it felt like Bug Hall was actually trying.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, okay, he's trying. He's trying to sell these lines to me.
Right.
Which, I mean, he does a couple times because, like in the beginning of the film, you see that Bug Hall, he's sort of like this playboy type of guy. He's very cavalier about stuff. He's hitting on Carol, the mother of two children, of two almost adult children. Flashing the blues and the smile, and he's really trying to sell this character to me, which I was like, oh, okay, wow, he actually didn't phone this one in. He tried.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Colby, if you, we are gonna go into the rating of this film. Before we go into any more sidetracks of the actual film, so our rating system is gonna be used DVD, new DVD, used Blu-ray, new Blu-ray, Ultimate Collection, Ultimate Collector's Edition.
Very entertaining. I feel that, again, this is kind of like throw in the background of a party. You got some people over, few drinks, and like somebody's like, hey, what's on TV? And you're like, have you seen ARACHNOQUAKE? I apologize to anybody who ever comes over to a party at my house, because that's what you're stuck with. Like, I don't see this having any special features. Like, I can't even really imagine what the special features would be.
Yeah.
So I don't think, realistically, a Blu-ray would be worth it. I really, I did enjoy it. I would love to own it and have it in my collection. I'd go, new DVD, especially if it was, the Walmart
value bin.
$10 or less bin. Yeah, I don't see, especially with stuff like this. We've kind of mentioned it before. Some of the stuff where the special effects are already not great. You don't want to amplify the badness by
a higher definition.
With a higher definition.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. On this film, I would actually, probably a new DVD, like one of those value bin DVDs. But if they had a 5-movie sci-fi collection of all the Spider films,
oh yeah,
I would definitely get it used Blu-ray, not an Ultimate Collection one, but used Blu-ray to just pack in 5 or 6 Spider movies in there. Because, sci-fi movies aren't very long, people. It's an hour and 20 at best.
Right.
But if it's as a standalone film, I would give it a new DVD. Just because, it is very entertaining. It's just funny. It's just one of those like just goofy sci-fi films that actually try to have a good dialogue and decent acting.
Right. It didn't try to make itself silly, but it didn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, it was like a very happy medium. Because I mean, definitely with these type of films, you could totally just go off the wall, like crazy, or you could try to take yourself. If they take themselves too serious, it's kind of like cringy.
Right.
To watch, it was a very happy medium.
Definitely kind of felt like first Sharknado, where they're like, we're not really sure if this is a serious movie or a funny movie, so we're gonna do it like just how it needs to be done. And then like once they got to the sequels, they went way over the top, and they kind of really like.
I mean, they time traveled, Kobe.
They time traveled, yeah. They charmed it up and made it amazing. And I could totally see that if it's 7 years ago, they probably won't. But if they did a run of sequels on this, I could totally see them kind of doing that same pattern with this. But I feel like they definitely did justice to it.
Oh yeah, and so that is actually going to be the end of our episode. We are at the hour mark. We only have a basic plan, guys, so we can't do any more. But yeah, for next week we will be watching No Escape Room, another sci-fi original movie. I have actually watched this previously already, and I will rewatch it again because it is good. It is good, guys.
Definitely.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Our theme music is by Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. You can find it on the FMA.com under the music album Music for Podcast 3.
Thank you.